Today is March 25th, and today's quote is called, "Good japa is a habit." Chanting good japa consistently is possible. It's a matter of making excellent japa normal. As poor or average japa tends to be a habit that is repeated daily, good or excellent japa can easily become a habit. So most of us, when we chant our rounds, we're chanting kind of in an habitual way. It's something we do every day. And most of us don't oscillate from super fantastic rounds to horrible rounds. We tend to stay more at a certain level, whatever it is, average, below average, above average. That's the way habits work. Because you practice something, it becomes second nature. So a lot of us may not realize, unfortunately, bad japa is a japa habit that we have cultivated. If we haven't been careful to try to improve our japa, it's possible we're cultivating some bad habits that we're doing subconsciously, and then we're more or less accepting less than good japa, thinking that because that's the way we've done it for so long, that's just how we do it. Well, that may be true, that's just how you do it, but you can change it. And just as a bad habit will repeat itself, a good habit will repeat itself. So one of the things that I try to instill in the students that I teach in my japa workshops is, let us make good japa our default japa. Let us not allow ourselves ever again to chant bad japa. Let's have a threshold. And when we go below good, starting to get into the average, we automatically become aware that this japa is not good enough and I need to improve. So we establish an internal standard of what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. And we do that in our lives with what we eat, with our health, levels of cleanliness and so forth. We have acceptable and unacceptable, and we can change the threshold of acceptable and unacceptable by raising our standards. So that's what we're saying here. If you raise your standards so that good japa becomes your default, your habitual way of chanting, that'll be fantastic. Wouldn't it be nice to come to a position where you really couldn't chant bad japa? Even if you tried to, you couldn't, because you've ingrained such good habits? Well, that's what we want to try to do. We want to make in our life bad japa unacceptable, kind of inculcate a certain samskara, a certain habit, so that whenever we chant bad japa, immediately we feel internally, this is not acceptable. I have to improve. Right on the spot, right now, I have to make my japa better. And that as you practice chanting good japa, eventually good japa becomes your habit. So it begins with practice. And it begins with practice with a goal, with a realization that I need to chant good japa, that bad japa is really hurting me, or at least it's depriving me of so much I could be getting from the holy name that I'm not getting, and it's depriving me of realization, it's depriving me of spiritual strength, so many things. So this is the meaning of today's quote, that let's try to make our default japa good. Because just as we may have bad japa as a default, we can also cultivate the habit of good japa and have good japa as a default, and it'll make a huge, huge difference in our Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.